Hey guys, let's try this again and see if we've got better luck this time.
Sorry, we always seem to have technical difficulties.
See, we were set up down in Megan's workshop, and I think with it being so cloudy and everything else, that it just didn't keep a strong connection. So we moved upstairs.
Yeah.
I think it's our internet.
We're too far away from the router, probably.
And it wasn't as bad as it was the last time it done that. The last time it
I don't
done
know
this,
what that was.
it wouldn't let us end the feed, but nothing was coming across.
Yeah. Missy did it again.
Okay, let's just blame Missy then.
Okay.
Yeah, you would think there would be something better by now.
Yeah.
What I like about Missy, she takes the blame for all of my mess ups. So we will have to buy you Taco Bell sometime, Missy.
Hi, Tamara.
Oh, the other thing that we will be doing is the salvage yards come up in the last live feed. So we've been narrowing those down, and thanks to Jennifer's live feed with the maps, she even had those mapped out. Is we will be going there as well, seeing if we can learn any information at those places.
New backdrop. Yeah.
And Samantha, tonight is basically open. If there's any case that you want to discuss or any questions or anything, just shout it out. Hey, Craig, how you doing? The Irwins had friends with car crushers.
Oh.
Having a tomato sandwich.
I can't eat tomatoes.
I wish it didn't take me so long to type. That's my problem too. And at work, a lot of my job, a lot of my work there is on a computer, and I am still a slow typer. I'm studying for a sprayer application test.
That's cool.
Well, best of luck with that.
Yep. Okay, Samantha said, I read somewhere that Randy was slipped drugs and was drinking, and they found him dead and put him in a barrel.
You know, I've had that theory bounced off of us by a few people, and I, still can't really rule anything out.
Yeah. Then put him in the water.
Seeing that would be interesting because, Skeeter Bishop and Folsom were to be put in barrels and put into the river.
When you sonar, can you keep an eye out for that?
Definitely.
Yes.
And we do have some other cases where barrels are a possibility. So we will be looking for anything like that that's not normal to check out.
Yeah. You sick is hiring you played there.
I like where I'm at. It's the most laid back, comfortable place I think I've worked. Is Brinkley still in jail in Leavenworth or close by? I believe he is still in jail. I don't know exactly where though.
I'm not sure. Randy was definitely given a drug. Now, after being a nurse for 30 years, I think it was GHB. I agree.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that all the waters that were cleared, they were cleared of cars and not necessarily barrels.
That is a good point.
I assume a barrel would melt after a few years. Check here. Oh, hang on, Missy.
And Byron says, I think the barrel theory was mentioned before by AWP too. Yeah, I do remember Jared mentioning something about possible barrels.
I'm sorry, Missy. I didn't see it.
Barrels is definitely something to be mindful of. You can also create a dragging device made up of magnets that you guys can drag bodies of water for barrels that might not show up on sonar. That's a good idea too. Some of the magnets that we have, they're rated for, I want to say one of them's 800, one of them's 1,200 pounds. And the reason I like having the lighter magnets as well is if it does hook up to something underwater that ends up being not of interest that you need to jerk your magnet off, it's a lot easier to pull that off than the big ones.
Yeah.
But that is a good idea of dragging magnets behind the boat too, just in case. And Hondo says Brinkley should be up for parole again. I guess he'd go back to North Carolina.
Huh. Thank you, Missy, for sending me this. Can read it later.
He was trying to appeal something in Leavenworth. And what drug is GHB? See, and that takes me back to that spot on the Kansas River we discussed a while back ago.
Hmm.
I kind of wonder is Randy wasn't slipped LSD in a soft drink like the ones he got at Stouts.
Oh.
This is country folk territory. I think you would constantly be getting hung up on all kinds of crap people throw in the water. That is true. And just looked it up. Flanagan will be sentenced April 8th. Yeah, that is when his sentencing will take place. He pled no contest to voluntary manslaughter. And I'm hearing that there is a chance that sentencing, it may end up being like a time served type of situation.
My opinion, you shouldn't get out at all. You know, murdered somebody.
And Dennis, you didn't say anything about my Taco Bell comment, and you are very welcome. Missy, you got to talk to her. This is my boss. I would think metal barrels would rust away, especially after this many years ago. Plastic maybe last, but we need to have a large. Byron, I kind of see that side of it, but if the barrel was to say like the Missouri or the Kansas River, it's sand on the bottom. That sand constantly changes. If it was to cover it, it would still kind of hold it together. And even after this many years, there's been barrels found that's been 50, 60 years old that was still in fairly decent shape and would still hold. Say if a person was put in there, it would still hold them inside of that. So a lot of it has to do with, what the water is, how it's set up on the bottom once it finally settles, and if the barrel gets protected while underwater at all. And it takes about an hour for LSD to hit. GHB is in and makes you forget everything that happened while on it. And wish there was a way to tell the excavating crews building new houses in the area to be alert on what they're removing, etc. I know they can't comb through it all, but just paying attention.
That would be a good idea.
And plus, there is a dredging company that mines sand in the Kansas River.
That's the Call River.
It's the Kansas River.
I thought it was two different rivers. Excuse me.
You've lived here how long?
I don't know. Apparently not long enough.
And I do want to go down and talk with the people at the dredging company. And, growing up fishing, I fished the Kansas River, I fished the Missouri River, and even fishing, you get to see the changes in the bottom of the river. But I want to go talk with the people at the dredging company and get an even better idea of what's going on down there. With the response to metal barrel, but then we're back to special equipment having to be used, like mentioned by AWP. And while impressive, I would have never expected that. Did I break it again? I don't think it's broke. You want your attention, don't you? And then he hides his face.
Yeah.
It's like Brantley. Are you going to do a live feed tonight? And he gets all excited about it, and then he goes and hides in the bedroom.
Yep.
But the barrels, that is a good point to keep our eyes open. And even with the theories and the thoughts and reports of being covered with chunks of concrete underwater and that sort of thing, we will be looking for that as well and see if that needs to be cleared too.
Okay, we got Dan and Alex. Hey guys. And if it was in the barrel, thought it would still take time to set it up. Okay, I think Cotton, the guy who used to own the company, has passed away now. I don't know if his kids kept it or if someone bought the dredging operation. I don't know.
Let's see. And Dan asked if I saw what he sent me. And Dan, I haven't gotten any messages in. Yeah, there's no new messages. So. One more place to check real quick. Yeah, there's no messages. And Byron, on Randy's case, when I get my other motor, we may have a place near the DeSoto boat ramp. And then depending on some of the ponds, some of those may end up needing to be dove on. And then Saturday, if we find something in this pond on Billy and Mary Black's, possibly would need to be dove on. And it was late in the morning. Things had to happen fast, not a lot of time. Missy keeps buffering.
I think that's the weather causing that. Let's see.
And anyone in Randy Leach Hidden Truths, I think I'm actually in that group.
Yeah.
But if foul play was involved, who would have been involved? Just needed to get him away from people quickly. They could have went to a secondary location to think and plan. So that is true.
The Blacks and Atchison. Oh, that's
Billy and
case,
Mary
yeah.
Black. They've been missing in Atchison for a few years now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, the 4 Disney employees that were arrested in Polk County for human trafficking.
I read that the other day. It was on one of my news feeds.
That's trafficking is getting out of hand. And Catfish is back in full. He'd rather had some fried green tomatoes. One of the psychics said that there were 3 people involved with the girl. And someone was scolded for sharing stuff off of another page talking about Randy. I've only seen a few of us on that page. And I used to live in Atchison too, so if you need help there, let me know. I appreciate that, Leanne. And Missy, okay, had to restart my phone again. Did I miss my comment? Missy, when it comes to Taco Bell, this is my boss, so. And Dan, it blew my mind. Yeah, that was just, it's scary where the trafficking is turning up nowadays. Do you have a divers readily available? That I do not. Not that is right here that would be able to dive. So that would be something we would have to set up once we do find something. Now, I do plan on eventually getting diver certified, but until then, we would be setting that up when we find something that we need to be dove on. A bit of a confrontation a couple times yesterday about the National Geographic picture. Dennis, there was a diver in the recovery mission group. She seemed willing to dive. I had to check that out.
Yeah.
Hopefully within 2 weeks, cause of death may be available for Joshua Bohannon. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they rule the cause of death in that case. And Dan, I had a person contact me or leave me a voicemail today. I didn't get till just a bit ago. And it's one of the other cases there in Tennessee. And I will be in contact with this person tomorrow evening. And we will be, when we go to Tennessee, we will be doing a water search and a ground search for this person's son. And it was crazy how much that did look like Randy, talking about the photographs from the National Geographic picture.
Definitely.
And okay, well, I just need to finish putting my BCD together, and you could add me to the source list for a diver. Awesome. Myself and both my kids are dive certified. That is awesome. Cool. We will definitely do that. And Alex, that's what I thought, but was confused since anyone could have looked up National Geographic archives. Okay, boss, he said buy it sometime. Oh, well, so I was just letting you know how you can get my food. And I think when I mention food, I always break the live feed. I would like to see a picture of Randy left ear for mole to see if we can blow up National Geographic picture to see if we can see a mole on the left ear. That would be. Before I forget this, go to the party site with the gallon bag, get it full of the burn spot, have it analyzed, see if they can by chance find parts of clothing in it. And honestly, I think if you get a good hit, Sam would come here and dive it. We just might have to raise funds to get him here. If that's Sam, the adventure man, I love that guy. One of several very influential people to us when it comes to doing this. Yeah, and Sam, the adventure main son, he's been going with Sam a lot. That they make a good team. You gonna come say hi this time?
Nope, he's gone.
Dennis, since I don't have all my stuff completely ready, would my Helix 7 be of some use that you can get yours? Right now, with where we're searching, the Piranha that we have would be more than enough, basically. But if something does come up, I will definitely get a hold of you.
That was very generous. Thank you for that.
And we'll have to get together sometime, go out and do some of these searches. And hey, was Mr. Thornton at Linwood in 1988 and transferred to Baser Linwood High School in 89 and up? And for sure, absolutely, because Byron and Brent and Brandon, I definitely got to meet them. Samantha, I wish you all weren't so far away. I'm in Vermont.
I'd say that's a little far.
And speaking of that kind of stuff, we're still getting messages and phone calls, people asking about the event we were lining up, like a meet and greet style. We were going to invite other teams to come in as well. We will be reserving the location, possibly even tonight online. And Sunday evening on that live feed, we will be able to start announcing details on that. But we will be having a meet and greet type of event. Some other teams will be coming in for this, and it will be here in Leavenworth, Kansas. But we will give the full details this Sunday evening. Have you seen the narrative reports posted in the group? Yes. Dennis not that far away. He's halfway across the state, LOL.
Mole on his ear.
On his left ear, I believe it was. You see it from the side view.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready for Saturday. I'm really hoping we are able to get on this pond and hopefully find answers in Billy and Mary's case. I think the narrative reports were the problem, not the National Geographic article. I feel like there are contradicting stories, whether he was in Leanne's car or that other guy's car. You know, there were reports that he was in another guy's car, but if I remember right, later that changed.
Mm-hmm.
The reports are incomplete.
Go figure, they all seem a little sketchy.
And that's why I like Leanne. I'm so thankful that, you know, she's been working to find Randy as hard as anybody. And, you know, the interview you done with AWP, the fact that you're still coming on channels like this and stuff, answering questions and really helping out, that is very much appreciated. And he was definitely in Leanne's car.
Yeah, Missy, I got him.
Check my notes, see if there's anything else I need to bring up. And Jennifer, if you can, let me know ahead of time when you're going to do your next live feed, and we will get that announced too and see if we could help bring more people in on that.
Leanne said, I never understood why they didn't process my car. The cops wouldn't even look at the earring I found in it. Huh.
And Leanne, there is so many discrepancies basically that I've seen with the investigation from the beginning that it's mind blowing. Nothing more was done. Now, I know they did do some things, but it blows my mind they didn't do more than that.
Yeah.
And daylight savings time was not active that night. And he was only in Leanne's car once. And that is a good point. People would have been late for work and school if time changed on the 3rd and to the 15th. Did Flanagan go to the party, and did any of the party goers go to Flanagan's?
That is a good question. Okay, Leanne, I am glad you're here. I am glad you did what you could to save Randy, but what happened to Randy isn't your fault. No, it is not.
Right.
Randy's car. I didn't know Flanagan, so if he was there, I would have just figured him to be Erwin friend. Yeah, if you don't know these people, you're just gonna assume they're just friends.
Have you heard any more on the Summer Wells case, Dennis? Really, nothing more has come out. I was hoping there would be more with Don going to jail for the DUI and probation and or parole, but there's nothing coming out. We do have a couple areas in mind that when we are in Tennessee, we will be going over to search for Summer Wells while we're there. But as far as information, there's really nothing new on it. And that's when it gets frustrating on these cases.
Yeah.
I never saw the car, but I wasn't looking for it. Randy usually drove his dad's old truck. Yeah, and Alberta also told us that, Randy always drove the truck. It was very rare that he ever drove his mom's car.
Yeah.
I need to look into these other cases. You won't be too far from me when y'all come to Tennessee. And heard they had to pull off the search due to storms. And was there any activity at the house that we now know as Flanagan's, porch light on, windows open, people on or near the stairs? Mark, I just saw this on a chance. Hey, Mark, how you doing? And Leanne was 18 at the party, didn't care about anybody else's car but mine.
Yeah.
I hear that. I am 42 and I go places and don't care about.
So that's why we always park in the back.
It is. We go to Walmart or something, I will park all the way down on the end, and it ain't so much that I'm worried somebody's going to hit my door or something. It just gets me out away from everyone.
Mm-hmm. It was on someone's post that Flanagan and Randy had an altercation before the party.
You know, I've heard and seen reports that they did have an altercation before the party,
Mm-hmm.
but then there was not anything in any reports after that of what may have happened afterwards.
Yeah. Okay, Mark said I read Flanagan was invited to the party but declined. I just found out this summer that brother at Flanagan's that night the muffler oh. Oh. So her brother.
And also that Flanagan gave permission for the Irwins to use his driveway. And Leanne, I appreciate your time and energy. And Harold told Leanne the next morning that he had his mom's car. And we all appreciate you, Great Babe, and you being on here to help. Absolutely.
I'll be right back.
Missy, I promise you, I did not send a tornado your way. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And Jen, exactly. We have to keep in mind the reports that were leaked are raw statements. There are very few documents that either confirm or debunk what is in those statements, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. Exactly. And that neighbor to the Irwins searched a lot of the woods and old barns. He said also rented a plane a few days later. And which neighbor was that? I don't remember the neighbor's name that rented the plane. Do you?
Was that it?
No, that's the CEO of Skyfront.
Oh. Keith Kaufman.
Yeah,
Kaufman.
Yeah,
Okay.
Keith Kaufman's dad. Missy has a tornado warning.
Oh. Stay safe.
And Mark, it was my understanding that there were several locals, including Leanne, that did go out and do searches and look for Randy and tried to find him. And I never want to see a case like this, but it's neat, for lack of better words, how people come together to help when it comes to a case like this, especially if they just went missing. You see whole neighborhoods come together in search. So the property was checked pretty good right away by the neighbor, checking the woods, barns, and then renting a plane. Missy says maybe the tornado will blow her to Kansas.
Samantha said, tell the tornado to leave you alone. We got business to discuss.
And Leanne says that Alex, I never believed that happened because on the way Tom Kaufman was, Keith couldn't verify it either.
Mm.
And Mark says the house was searched by Leanne that night. Samantha says, wait for me on tornado taking her to Kansas. And Leanne says at Hondo, I went there myself, meaning the Irwin residents, the next morning and could tell they were frantically cleaning.
I'm sorry, but after a night of hard partying, the last thing you want to do is clean.
Yeah, that's always really puzzled me.
Yeah.
I mean, we do a small bonfire in the backyard, maybe have a couple drinks, and it's well into the next day before we start cleaning up. Leanne, were the searches that took place organized by anyone, or was it just like concerned community members looking any place you guys could think of? If we're cleaning, you're covering something. That early after a party like that, you know, my thoughts do go that direction.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was just people looking. There wasn't somebody organizing a search. Everybody was just looking. And Leanne, I do have to kind of go back to Stranger Creek. Everything that I've seen shows that there was very little water in the creek, that it was mostly mud. And then there's report 10 years later from the KBI special agent. He thinks that Randy drove into Stranger and washed down the river. Um, do you remember if the water was indeed down to very little, or how much water was in the creek during this time? Here we go. Leanne also said that Stranger Creek was so low that you can get stuck in the mud, so that theory is shot. See, that was my thinking there, Mark, because I thought I'd remember that she had said that in the interview, and then with the getting the weather reports from that time frame, backing that up, um, Alberta letting us know there was no water there. So there's parts of Stranger that I think definitely needs to be searched, especially up around 200th Street, the bridge we were at. Was there any wells nearby? And Jen says, Samantha, not necessarily. We were made to clean up early a lot of times because the parents didn't want to be stuck cleaning their property. So often they didn't give us time to slip away. That is a good point.
Yeah.
And no. Where Dennis said he went in, it was physically impossible for a car to go in the creek. That is what we were seeing while we were out in that area. We didn't think it would be possible either. So thank you for clearing that up for us. She said that first year they lived there that they would jump off the bridge and their feet would get stuck. Correct. The Morning Deer Road Pond location. A previous past owner search revealed that David and Stephen Hagg had once lived there. Believe both was on the list of ones that attended the party. The movie Kansas was trying to film at Golden Road Bridge and jump a car into the creek, and the water was too low, so they went to a secondary location to film. There are wells everywhere, but most of them are 4 to 6 inches around modern wells.
Excuse me for a minute.
A Texas post hole is what a septic system was before tanks were used. And the Haggs did live on Morning Deer. The movie car scene was filmed in Linwood. The secondary location is wrong. And I can't remember what year Kansas was filmed. I don't know what year it was filmed, but the initial release was September 23rd of 1988. Took place on a location in Kansas, October of 1987.
Oh, Jen. Mm-hmm.
See, this is why I like the live feeds, because everybody has a chance to get their questions and thoughts out, and everybody can jump in. There was a statement from a girl, I believe was Barnett. She said she pulled up to the party, saw an open trunk, something being put into it. Does anyone know where this statement was from? That was actually in the leaked documents, but then later on that was recanted, and she said in another report that she didn't see that. And Jen, she's using her 3 monitors again. Jen, I'm going to have to get a setup like that. I'm also going to have to learn how to screen share on live feeds.
Mm-hmm. I'm still pretty computer illiterate, so I can't really help you on that.
And does anyone know where Carl Rhodes used to live? Yeah, we do have that address in the files.
Hey, our psychic goddess is here. Hi. Rhodes lived in the barn at the greenhouse. Jeez. Oh. What? What do you want? I see. Good boy. Oh. All right. All right. No. No kisses. No kisses.
I'd have no problem sharing what programs I use. It's free, but any month you go 20 hours, it's like $20. StreamYard.
Yeah, tell me.
I'm gonna have to check out StreamYard.
Yeah.
And we do have a camera set up right now that we can lower down into like a well. And then this camera system we're getting, we can lower that down as well.
Oh, okay. She said she likes our lives, but if you ever want to share, StreamYard is the way to go.
I definitely want to learn how to do this because it would be helpful to pull stuff up on.
She said it's free.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
So guys, in a future live feed during the week sometime, I may be trying that out. So just a heads up to bear with me on that one.
Tex found his bone.
Mark sent a message. I'm trying to get it pulled up.
Gotcha.
And it is not. Being very helpful.
No stitches.
Rhodes, what first name? Where is the Rise and Fall Pond? I believe that would be Carl Rhodes.
Yeah.
Make sure you go live when you are out searching. So we will definitely be going live. And when we're sonaring, we'll have the camera focused on our sonar screen. So you guys will be seeing what we're seeing as well. And
Wait, in case we miss something, they might see it.
right. Saturday, when we're searching for Billy and Mary, we'll definitely be filming and sharing that with you guys.
Okay, Jen said Alexander Road and 206th Street.
And all of my messages off of the page has disappeared again.
Again?
So, Mark, if you sent the message off of the Facebook page, all of my, did it pull up on yours?
No. Oh, wait a minute.
See, all of my messages seem to have disappeared on there. And that, Mark, those are just rumors about Carl. His family owned a large equipment business and he lived on the property where the equipment was kept. He was a tweaker and used to dig holes all the time. And Byron, unfortunately, it's my Saturday to work or I'd come hang out. Well, that's all right, Byron. We will definitely get a time set up to meet up.
I don't even have it on here.
Go to the page. And the Rise and Fall Pond, I believe Adventures with Purpose sonared that. Is that where they sonared or is that where it was frozen?
I don't remember.
I've got so many locations going through my head right now, I can't remember if that was it or not. When are you planning to search again for Randy? I have been following Randy's since I heard. Still interested? Please do a live. How is his mom? We are hoping, or we will be out again this Sunday, searching for Randy. We planned on trying to sonar a lot of ponds, but with all the rain, we're not sure if they're going to be open for us going in to search. If not, we do have other locations that we will be searching Sunday for Randy. Haven't spoken with his mom in a while. Last time I spoke with her, she's going through a lot, obviously with Randy losing her husband, but she's fighting. She's holding up.
I don't have any messages.
AWP sonared Rise and Fall Pond. I was there with them. Okay, so that is the one that they sonared. Okay, yeah, because that's John says here, that's the one that Jared said was full of fish. He told him, when he got up to him, he told him, I can tell you, you got a lot of fish. Weekend weather sunny and in the 70s. See, we've got a whole list of just ponds on their own to search and try to get permission to search and then search those. And then hopefully we hear back from the families we contacted, and hopefully we're able to access Stranger Creek up around 200th Street to search that. About to run out of waterways to be searched. And Mark says, sorry, Dennis, I sent that message to Jen.
Oh, well, no wonder we didn't get it. Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, it's getting late. We're going to need to get the young ones put to bed and start heading to bed myself to be ready for work in the morning. But we will definitely be out Saturday sonaring for Billy and Mary Black. And we will be out, depending on how that goes, there's one area we may get to Saturday afternoon to search for Randy. And then another location if there's time to do a search for Crystal Kipper. And then Sunday we will be searching for Randy.
That's a good idea.
I wonder if you ask to fish if they would let you on there with the fancy fish finder instead of saying you're looking for Randy.
That's a really good idea.
That is a good idea. Yep, I call you at 4, Dennis. That's when I get up, or I'm going to turn my ringer off and use a different alarm, Catfish. Mm-hmm. I do like that. Asking to fish.
Yeah.
So with that, guys, thank you all for being here. And again, Leanne, thank you very much for being here, answering questions, doing everything that you're doing to try to help find Randy. Our thoughts and prayers still go out to you, those who were friends with Randy, to the family. And hopefully together we can all work to find answers on this case.
Yes.
So we will go ahead and shut this down. Until next time, you guys stay safe and let's do what we can to bring Randy home.
Good night.